Hey guys, what's going on? This is your buddy Murph, and today I'm going to talk about tanks.
Alright guys, time for some paintball news and industry trends. Trey Bond, one of our Facebook followers and Monday Night Paintball video contributor, asked us to announce Helms Deep at Big Indian Paintball. This is going down May 18th in Perry, Georgia. Pre-registration is $30, day of registration is $35, and you can either bring your own paint or buy it at $40 a case. There's going to be two different parts of this game. The first one is going to be attack and defend the castle, and after that there's going to be a 3-team game. Looks really interesting. For more information, go to bigindianpaintball.com. There's a cool scenario going down in Fairfield at Travis Air Force Base called Once Upon a Grim, and it's being put on by Lockdown Scenarios. It's going down May 25th through the 26th. We have 3 Rap4 employees so far going. Myself and a couple of the guys that work here. I'm going to be out there to film and interview some players, and we've got a bunch of Savoy 6 members making the trip. Registration costs $99, but you get free parking for the 2-day event, overnight camping, you get to participate in the night game, unlimited air, a case of paint, and a raffle entry. It's going to be a field paint only event, and because it's on a military base, there are no walk-ons. You'll need to register ahead of time and give them some of your information so that the Air Force can check you out and make sure that you are authorized to be there. Like I said, I'm going to be there, a couple of employees are going to be out there. I'm going to try to catch as much of the action as I can, talking to you guys, and bringing out some of our newest equipment, including 4.68s and D-Mags. There's a cool scenario going on in Ontario, Canada on May 26th. It's called Phoenix Project 28 D-Day, the Guns of Navarone. This is going down in the town of Kitchener and has a very elaborate attack and defend scenario. It looks very interesting. Here's a little bit that Omar brought up the other day that we thought would be really cool to put on Monday Night Paintball. This is a Tippmann 98. This is actually the collector's edition 20th anniversary. This one has some gold accents and stuff. Tippmann 98's been around for a very, very long time, and it's been working for a very, very long time. This is an extremely functional, a very simple, very reliable system. This is actually the first marker that I ever shot. My friend had one, I think it was around 12 or 13, and it was a 98 custom, which was really cool because you could get like a different grip for it or swap out the barrel or whatever, and I thought that was just awesome that you could customize it at the time, even though at the time they didn't really have too much out there for it. Now, based on this very simple, very reliable platform, over the years people have come out with all these different customizations for it, including a few that Mr. Omar Macy has come out with, like this, the MKV. So now you can go from this to this. This is an MKV with a few attachments that Omar himself chose to put on here. Anything from barrels, muzzle brakes, front sight posts, to firearm grade accessories like this mag backup sight or this EOTech here. It's a magazine fed with first strike capabilities, got an air through stock 13 CI tank system. This one has the custom mythical trigger that will come out one day, but there is no time frame on that at this time. We've got Magpul accessories on it, including a vertical grip. I mean, this right here is absolutely killer. The few grips when I was growing up that could replace this front grip here, I thought that was awesome at the time. I mean, now look at it. So just an overview on how excited we are to see markers in the industry going from this to this. Now this week on Monday Night Paintball, I want to go over a new item on our catalog. This is the Scarab Arms TGR2. This is a new kid on the block when it comes to mag-fed markers, but it's using tried and true paintball design and mag-fed design. Scarab Arms is an independent company out of Las Vegas, Nevada. The first time we got our hands on this marker in particular was at Operation End War 3, and it performed flawlessly for the entire 2-day event. They improved not only upon a standard mag-fed marker, but the magazines themselves, Scarab Arm magazines, are pretty revolutionary. First of all, the feed neck's a lot different. Instead of having the collar that slips back, these magazines are a solid design here. That's a lot stronger, and you don't have to worry about losing paintballs when you put them in your pouches for astrograph. These come in a standard smoke, so you can see how many rounds are left in them, and the outside is extremely aggressive. Now the reliability is way higher than any other oval track magazine currently on the market, and of course they are first strike capable. The magazines in particular are now going to be compatible with the 4.6A. We like them so much that we changed the design on the 4.6A to be able to accept them. And if you have a mag kit with a retro magwell, meaning that it accepted T68 magazines, you are able to mod that yourself to accept this. There's a little bit of extra material inside of the magwell that you'll need to remove. Once you do so, you will be able to be firing first strike rounds out of your mag kit. The look and feel of this marker in general is a cross between what I would say is an AR style platform, being that the charging handle here has a latch on it, very similar to an AR-15 or your 4.6/8, but overall body design really resembles that of an FN Scar. And the iron sights that come standard on this are a standard front sight post and a diopter rear sight. So you're able to rotate it to have a larger or smaller aperture depending on the application. For CQB, you're going to want to have the largest sight possible. For long range, you're going to want to have the smallest. It's a little bit of improvement over the standard 2-size aperture of an AR-15 style sight, whether it's a flip up or a carry handle. And the air stock options mean that you have full versatility in the rear as far as what kind of a buttstock you want. Either a 13 CI like this one, we have a 17 CI, or you can have the solid remote line adapter. Our mil-spec version is able to accept real firearm buttstocks like the Magpul CTS. All in all, this is an outstanding marker that's making big waves in the industry, and one of the biggest perks, to me at least, is that you can look into the chamber. That meaning that you can do chamber checks while you're firing. Alright guys, for this week's tactical tip, I'm going to hand over the stage to Murphy from Savoy 6. Murphy is a United States Marine. Him, like a lot of the other veterans on Savoy 6, are really into scenario paintball. They got out of the battlefield and they didn't want to put it down. Now they're very active in the paintball community. Murphy is going to talk to you guys about pug tanks, an interesting phenomenon that you might see at some large scenarios.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is your buddy Murph, and today I'm going to talk about tanks. So right here, we got my pug tank that Alyssa and I made. Pretty basic, down and dirty. I'm going to show you lessons learned, how we made it, how we repaired it, and just some things you might need to know if you feel like making one. So what we did is we made a wood frame. Wood frame goes right back here on the inside, and then we built a Core-Plast plastic frame on the outside, and that's your hold, that's your protection, that's your armor. So what we've done is, you got your plastic screen here, and I've tried a couple different nets, just seeing what works better, what doesn't work as well. I have a harder plastic net that I got at Home Depot, something you would use kind of like a plastic fence. And paintballs are going to hit and bust damn near immediately. So be expecting that. So you might want to have a rag in your pocket so you can wipe off your mask so you can actually see what you're doing. I've also used screen like you would use like in a screen door, and that works the best. It's really easy. The paintballs almost bounce clean off of it, but the problem is securing it. I've used zip ties to secure this net, and it doesn't go anywhere. I didn't have to worry about replacing it, put new net on it the whole day. But the problem is with the softer screen door screen is it's going to rip. I used screws because we were playing Decay Nations. I was just trying to get back in the game, and then I got cut on the inside of the tank. So just be careful when you're trying to use it. What I would recommend is probably some shoe goo or some kind of quick drying hard glue, and glue that screen on there. That's what I'm going to try the next time around, but use what you feel more comfortable with and what's easier in your checkbook. Altogether, this costs about $300 to make, and that's buying a ton of pipe, ton of plastic, ton of extra parts, because you're going to have to repair this thing. People are going to bust holes in it. I recommend at least doing 2 layers of plastic, because you're going to need that extra layer, because the first time around we did 1 layer, and paintballs, by the end of the weekend at Decay Nations, paintballs were going through. Because what happens is people get pissed off. They crank up the velocity. Should they do it? No. Is it against the rules? Yeah. Are they going to do it anyway? Probably. So, double up your armor just to protect you. It's not going to kill you. It's not going to take you out of the game per the rules of the game, but it's going to hurt like crap. So protect yourself. At least do 2 layers. I know the Blue Knights, those guys are mech gods. That's their bread and butter. They recommend a minimum of 3. That's what they told me in Decay after it already made the stinking thing. So another thing, just if you do make this, get ready for criticism. Get ready for, well, this is what I would have done. You're going to have impromptu tank specialists coming out of the woodwork telling you why your tank is is not as good as what they would do, but they would never do a tank because they don't have the time to do it. So just try to be as polite as you can and just move on. Just tell them, hey, show me your tank when you build it. Otherwise, just leave me alone. So, how's this thing stand up? Well, I got some PVC pipe I used as skids on the inside, and it comes straight down. Just be aware that you don't want to do any cross beams that are going to hit when you're walking. What do I use as a weapon? Well, I just got a A5, no stock. I use a single point sling so it hangs right here, center of the body, and then I can poke it out. If you bring it around the front, you see the gun port right here. I usually keep the gun pointed out almost all the time while I'm actively playing, and make it as wide as you can. One thing that I would recommend is putting some kind of rubber sheet, some kind of rubber skirt, a flap, if you will, to hang over the front. So when you're not playing, you pull it out, it's going to cover the hole, people can't shoot in there and hit you, but when you're ready, poke it back out, punch it out, and you'll be ready to fight. But, because when I first started, I just had a single gun port, just a circular hole, and that was it. But the problem was, I didn't have any lateral movement, that left to right. I didn't have it, and so I had to shift my whole body. And when you're doing 2-3 hour matches, carrying this bad boy, any way you can minimize your movement, help your just being comfortable in there, it's going to be a big deal, and it's going to help you a lot. So have some fun with it, put some fuzzy dice, you know, make it your own. A lot of people think you should put a lot of graphics, a lot of paint and stuff on there, and that's what I did the first time. I had Judge, Tread, I had crazy stuff, you know, team name, whatnot. You know, I had funny little look here, wait for the flash and smile. You know, I had funny little things, but after the first day, people are shooting it, letters are flying off, paint and smearing. You are literally going to have a river of paint pouring off of this tank. So if you have a water hose, something to kind of clean it off at the end of the day, it's going to be a big sticky mess. So that's why you see just a little bit of black, pretty much flat green, very simple. It doesn't break my heart if it gets broken or covered in paint, because that's what's going to happen. People are going to try to annihilate you in this thing. It's a lot of fun. It's a really good feeling being a guy, boots on the ground, and you got a tank, a friendly tank coming up the rear to help support you, and it's one of the scariest damn things when you got a tank coming over the hill coming after you. So it makes the game a lot of fun. They're really cool, but just understand that it's going to be a logistics issue. Just be ready to plan for it. How am I going to get it to the field? How am I going to get it from point to point in the field? Like the K Nations, I had no idea that the campgrounds was almost a mile from the field. So I was having to hike a mile to the game, turn around, play, and then walk a mile back to the game. So you would see SoCal Ghost, they would try to hoist it up on the back of a golf cart. That worked really well, and then they had somebody took a turn too fast and the tank came flying off. That's why you haven't seen the SoCal Ghost tank playing any games lately. They're rebuilding it. OCMI, they use a big souped up golf cart. So it's whatever you can pay for financially and whatever you just logistically can haul. If you got a trailer, that's awesome. If you just have a pickup truck, you might want to have something smaller as a puck tank that can fit in the back of a pickup truck. So just whatever you can handle, but still make the game fun. You know, we don't have thousands of dollars just laying around for recreation. So have fun with it, guys. Post your ideas. Just post some photos of some tanks you've made, because tanks, everybody's really interested in them, but there's not a ton of stuff out there. That's why I made this video. So if you want to get a quick shot of the inside of the tank, just see it's nothing fancy. It's just you got some shelves on the side, and it's just a wood frame, PVC pipe. You can see the top of the skids that go down, and you got some just Alice pack shoulder pack straps, and that's what I use to hold it up, and I just hoist it up like a pair of suspenders. And the biggest thing that you really don't think about, because you're going to have treads hanging on the side like a tank, but have a front skirt, almost like a license plate. Have it hang down as far as you can, and make sure you bring some extra pieces for this, so if they rip off on the road trip, because we learned that at the Iwo Jima Velocity Paintball round, the back flap tore off, and I was getting my calves shot all to pieces because I didn't have an extra piece. So there should be a skirt right there. There should be a protective plate, but it got ripped off. And you can see my skids right here. So that holds it up. It gives you a nice break when you're humping all day in the field. So make sure you carry a Camelback for hydration, because you are going to be sweating a lot more than you normally do. And you can attach stuff in there. Like I keep extra paint in there, I keep extra air in there. But just remember that whatever you're packing, you're carrying. So it's you know, ounces add pounds. So just make sure you don't bring any stuff that you really don't need. Also have speakers in this thing, so I can play some music, freak out the enemy, share out friendlies, and stuff like that. So one other bit of advice I would offer is always talk to the field ahead of time. Make sure they approve this, make sure they're okay with it. Make sure that the players on the field understand the rules of what a tank means. I've been accused of bunkering people in a tank because that guy's never played scenario paintball and he had no idea what the rules were concerning with a tank, and he didn't pay attention to the rules that morning. So make sure you have the field on your side, so you're being proactive instead of somebody making accusations and then you're reactive. So just make sure that the field and the people running the facilities, they understand what you're doing, they understand the rules, and they can help you out when people get a little crazy. Because you know, when paintball, when people start getting pain and sweat and you know, they're pissed off, you know, arguments ensue. So make sure that they understand what you're doing with the tank, and if you can, have a referee walking with you, because it's really good for them to identify what team you are, not for you, but for the people around you, because you're going to have friendlies shooting at you because they don't know if you're enemy or not. So when you have that ref with you, he's going to help identify it, because you can have as many flags as you want, but sometimes just having the ref saying, hey, he's on the red team, hey, he's on the blue team, that makes a big difference. Because you know, people just get freaked out and they just start shooting without thinking. And having that referee there, he's going to help keep people honest, because people are going to be less likely to turn up the velocity and try to cook around through the side of your tank. And make sure that they have a, you know, they can chrono. I always carry my own after the K Nations, because they had some of their junior referees that never saw a paintball before in their lives. They didn't have a chrono, they didn't know where to get a chrono. And I literally had a guy blow a hole through the net, went through my mask, and cut my inner ear because he was shooting way hot. So just for your safety, make sure you're prepared for what you're getting into, but also just have a referee with you and make sure they got a chrono, and it'll keep people honest. You'll have a good time instead of a bad time. But like I said, post your comments, post what you've seen, what you've done. Like SoCal Ghost, they have wheels on the front of theirs. I don't have wheels. I think they get caught on stuff, but just post your different ideas. And just make sure whatever you put on this thing, you won't get upset if it breaks off or gets shot off. So like I have handles on the side made out of 550. So just so you can carry it, your teammates can help you haul it. But if it gets ripped, yeah, it's 550. It's not gonna break the thing. So have a good one, guys. See you out on the field.
If there's anything you'd like to see for next week's tactical tip, just let me know on Facebook. You can either post it to our page or you can send me a PM. Either way, I'll get it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Remember, Monday Night Paintball is your show. We make it from the content generated from our Facebook page. So, if there's anything you'd like to see in next week's episode, just go to facebook.com/RefWarUSA and let us know. Looking forward to hearing from you. We'll see you out there.